Hello humans, Gita Rose here. Thank you for tuning in. So as some of you may know, I lived on the Kona coast of the Big Island for a few years. This was a calling. This came about as something bigger than me, something that came to me, it came through me to move to the islands, and it was relentless in its synchronicity. I had a dream where I was swimming with dolphins, and dolphins, you know, were always cool to me. Sure, they're fascinating creatures, but it wasn't an interest necessarily of mine. It wasn't a passion of mine. And I had this dream where I was swimming with these dolphins, and I heard "Ke ala ke akua," this thundering voice. And I woke up and I remembered it so clearly. And I went and I looked it up. And sure enough, it was a real word in Hawaiian in a real place that translates to gateway of the gods. And it's an area, Kealakekua, a bay called Kealakekua, where a lot of the native wild spinner dolphins are known to come in and rest and play and socialize. And so after this dream, I knew it was definitely something that was outside of me, bigger than myself, that I decided to follow. I also had the pleasure of speaking with April Rochelle from Bashar Communications at this point in time, about 5 or 6 years ago now, and she very much validated for me that this was a calling that I should follow and that I would be supported in it, and I was. And I lived on the Big Island for about 2 years and swam hundreds of hours with the wild spinner dolphins. Some spotted dolphins and some bottlenose dolphins, as well as some whales, but very far off in the horizon. This is a form of first contact for me, 100%, absolutely. And being connected to this very specific lineage, I took it as training, I took it as initiation. Not only with the star races and star energies, but also with Gaia energies, with earth energies. I see the cetaceans as being messengers for both galactic and planetary consciousness. And so I was taken through many, many different lessons of how to interact with them. And mainly to know, to really feel that there is a telepathic communication, that they communicate in very different ways, ways that are what we would define as telepathic. Many different examples and stories and synchronicities, essentially, that can be very whirlwindy to attempt to describe, but I'll just simply state that I had enough experiences to truly know that a big aspect of the lesson that they were providing with me is how telepathy feels, how telepathy works, when to really know when this type of communication is happening. And it was done through synchronicity. I would hear something in my mind, something as simple of, okay, Gita, like dive down now, dive down right now. And I dive down as deep as I can, and then there's 2 dolphins, you know, or as specific as, okay, look to your left. You look to your left and like, there's a dolphin eye right in your face. And they're very tricky in ways. They like to surprise us and to utilize their trickster energy to help validate the synchronicity. But even when you get out of the water, it has such this dream-like quality to it where you're not really sure that what happened actually happened. And then the next time you meet with them, they take you through a very similar lesson to reiterate, like, this is happening. So recently I have been connecting with the dolphins here in the Bay Area, California, just north of San Francisco. What I believe to be bottlenose dolphins or common dolphins. I haven't gotten a good enough look to know for sure. They've been very polite with me, and again also working with telepathy. I say very polite with me because the waters here are much colder, much murkier, much more rough, different type of wave break, different topography in a lot of different ways. These dolphins here are much bigger than the spinner dolphins, and they have a different energy. They have the spinners are, I mean, they are very serious and very intense in their own ways, absolutely, but they have such an air of lightness and play and fun, and they're called spinner dolphins because they actually jump out of the water and spin. And they do that for a variety of different reasons. But these dolphins here are quite big and quite large. And the past few months, I have had a practice of going to my favorite beach, Muir Beach. It's very soft sand there. It's a softer lagoon area in one part of the beach where the dolphins do come by and cruise occasionally. And a big lesson that I learned from being in Hawaii with the spinner dolphins is there's a type of culture that is, let's go find the dolphins. What beach are the dolphins at today? And what the spinners taught me in Hawaii is it isn't about finding where the dolphins are, but it's about altering your internal frequency through meditation, through yoga, through breath work, through music, through just being in the ocean and in being in love with being in the ocean and shifting our internal vibrations to then align with the version of reality that has always been in existence where the dolphins are there with us. So that has been the mind frame that I hold when I go to the beach, and it has worked. And in ways it's, like I said, they're being very polite with me. This energy is different than the spinners, and we are moving in steps and stages. And I haven't gotten very close to them. The spinners and I would get very close. You don't touch them. It's not polite to touch them. But yeah, we would dance really close, and I have only gotten as close to maybe about 4 feet away from these dolphins here. But again, very different energy. And so here are some clips of my recent adventures to Muir Beach in California to connect with the ocean life. Because it's a full moon, to maybe interact with the dolphins, to align more so with that reality, because I know that they're more active full moon times in Hawaii, at least those dolphins, but I'm learning these guys here. But I'm thrown off my game a little bit because I came here as a full moon, but also simultaneously my mind forgot it's a full moon, and I don't usually practice yoga on full moons, the asana yoga anyways. I went to start moving and I just felt like, bleh. I was like, what is that, what? Why are you telling me not to practice yoga, body? And I was like, oh, I'm here because it's a full moon, it's a full moon. Oh right, it's a full moon. So I will warm up internally doing some breathing, not full on asana yoga, and a little meditation. And then yeah, it feels relevant to get in the water today for a little reconnection just with the water itself, with being in the water, with feeling the cold, relaxing my body, opening my heart enough, trusting my trust. There's a whole series of frequency shifts that I take myself through, that I've been taught to go through before it's relevant to even align with their physical bodies, because I can feel their energies even on land. I can feel their energies around me all the time, but then I get in the water and I can feel it even more. And
Yeah, I used to swim in Hawaii all the time without swimming with the dolphins. I spent a lot of time, hundreds of hours with them, but a big part is just getting into the water by ourselves. But I don't go super far out. I like to still be able to touch ground, especially here. Like, please, you can't see out anywhere, and it's very overcast today, right now anyways. So yeah, little breathing, sounds nice. Chilly, and my battery is a little low, but I caught some waves, and it's just nice to be in the ocean again. It's been a couple weeks, which is a long time for me, and I feel the dolphins all the time, but I'm definitely aware I need to retrain a little bit more, get my sea legs back in shape until there's actual physical contact again, but whee, always so fun.
So one really fun story that I can share, this was about 2 to 3 weeks before I left the Big Island to come back home for good, right? Whatever that means. And I had spent a lot of time with the dolphins and a lot of training and a lot of understanding of what it feels like to be in their frequency and to be part of their pod, to be part of their consciousness, and to know what it's like to truly receive and know that it's happening, telepathic communication. So one day was one of these days at City of Refuge, 2 Steps, where the dolphins were in a sleep cycle. And there were many tourists around that were wanting to interact with them and get pictures and kind of chasing them around the bay. And it just broke my heart, you know, to see that, and I was mad at the tourists and I felt bad for the dolphins, but I still wanted to get in the water and swim and just be in their energy and send them love without going over to them. Or also to hold an example of how you can interact with them even when they are in a sleep cycle. Stay far away from them. And if they choose to come over and check you out, you get a little dance from one of them that has their sonar on, because there will be scouts that are still awake in the pod while the other are switching their brain hemispheres. That's how they sleep. They shut down one side and then they shut down the other side, and they go through these cycles. But they will come over to you if they're curious, even when they're in a sleep cycle. So I was holding that space of being farther away and sending love to them, and they were telling me, Gita girl, it's okay, like we are okay. Don't feel so sad. We can see you feeling super sad for us. Don't feel so sad. It's absolutely okay. And just having one of these days too of like feeling bad for the islands and all of the productions and just life, earth stuff, you know, kind of a heavy day, I remember. And materialism, you know, the white man in the Western world and all that, you know, kind of thought, and just felt really bad for the islands and for the culture. And they were sending me like, no, this is mission, this is service, this is, you know, this is what we've all agreed to do. And then 2 came over really close to me. They were awake, and because I could see both of their eyes, and they're like, okay, dive down now, like go deeper, dive deeper, attune your inner life, attune your inner landscape, find that love frequency, find your gratitude, know that we're okay, know the love. And then they sent me, okay, we're gonna help you do something. This is something that you guys do all the time, switching in and out of these parallel frames, you understand, but we are going to help you. We are going to help you adjust your frequency. So keep diving, Gita girl, keep diving, as deep as you can. Feel the love, right? It's all this energy being sent to get me into this state. And I go as deep as I can, and then I surface, and there's no other humans in the water. It's just me and the dolphins. And there is no one on the beach, no one on the lava rock beach. It was a busy day at Two Steps, and there's no one on the beach. And there's this silence and this complete understanding and inner standing. And then they're like, okay, that's enough, that was fun. Now go back down, dive deep, dive deep, dive deep, dive deep. We're gonna help you jump back. You need to know too that you jump back by finding that same amount of love, by finding that same reverence, by finding that same knowing of being in service. Dive deeper, dive deeper. Okay, and then I surface, and then I'm back to the same reality with all these tourists kind of following them around, and it's busy on the beach. But that was an experience, and I think it's still in my files exactly what they taught me that day. And I'm sure I will completely download it when it is time for me to fully understand. Yeah, that was a good time. Good one. Good story. Okay. I'm back a few days later. It's a little warmer today, still pretty overcast, hence the Bay Area is foggy. I feel like an official alien with my logo and my sunglasses, but I feel like I can't actually connect with you guys. So yeah, happy new moon cycle, happy new now, wherever you may be watching this. I am excited to practice some yoga, to really connect with the earth here and breathe, and it's a really nice day for swimming actually. The water isn't too cold. I think I'm definitely still gonna wear my wetsuit though. As I said, I'm still training. I'm still getting back in shape. I was pretty diligent about coming and swimming and meditating and doing yoga and connecting with the frequency and really establishing contact with some of a pod here. There were three. From what I could assess, it was a male and a female and a baby. Potentially also two females, two males. Sorry, my eyes are always trained. I actually saw something. So living in Hawaii, I spent a lot of time watching the sea as well, and knowing that they do cruise by very unexpectedly. Part of their archetype is this trickster archetype, and they know that, and they communicate with us on this way and can, I think, manipulate matter or aid in us jumping timelines. So yeah, I'm excited to, oh no, like, there's definitely something out there, kids. Ah! Hey, on the I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a seal. I don't know if I'm not seeing a dorsal fin, so it could actually be a seal, which is still really sweet. I love the seals. I love the selkie
energy. The autumn equinox is past and we are in autumn. I think it's a seal. But that was still fun. And you got to see me very authentically. Shout out in Ancient Sirius in Marin County, California. Just hanging out at a beach. There's no one around, but there are neighbors. That was fun. So yeah, my intention here is to do some yoga, and I'm gonna do that for me. And then I may film a little bit and share a snippet in this video. But I'm gonna start making more actual yoga videos, but I wanna get more centered in my practice. I kind of veered a little bit and got really into the channeling and going out and taking photographs and making videos, and now I'm starting to recollect and get grounded. I have plenty of assets now, social media assets. That's what we call photographs, apparently. But all of this, everything that I'm doing is coming through very specifically, and I understand that I'm allowing myself to play with our matrix media, and I am a millennial, and I'm here to infiltrate in a variety of ways. So thank you, Mr. Seal. I'm pretty sure you were a seal, but still some like mammalian, selkie, trickstery energy right at that moment. Love it. So yeah, I'm gonna practice some yoga and check back in with you all later.
Pretty strong feeling that I wasn't going to see the dolphins this weekend. This time that I was making this video, being more diligent about going and making this video as a permission slip to get me back into the routine of going to this beach more and working with the energy and then sharing it with you guys. But I had a pretty strong feeling that I wasn't going to interact with any dolphins in the physical in this way. What I was not expecting was a seal, a visit from a seal. Always expect the unexpected. I was a little scared. The footage that I have that I'll put in the footage is a little far away, but you can see that this animal is very much having an interaction with me, playing with me, using trickster energy to say hello. Came in very close. There were other people on the beach that noticed this interaction and said they'd never seen anything like it. There was a friend of mine that has seen me interact with the dolphins and said, oh, Gita, like not only are you a dolphin whisperer, you're a seal whisperer. Like this seal was here to give you a message. And I said, you're right. Absolutely. I've never interacted with an animal like this. And it was fascinating because it almost made me more nervous than being with a dolphin, because this animal is slightly unpredictable to me. I haven't interacted with it before. And in my mind, I have it categorized as being more of an animal than a dolphin. A dolphin is something that's like a human in a dolphin body, or an alien ascended master in a dolphin body. Like I don't view them as like the same animal level of existence. But we're animals too. Humans are very much animals, and that's what the message was from the seal, was like, hey, don't give the dolphins all the credit. Yeah, they're amazing, but I'm here to act as a bridge consciousness, and I'm here to act as a messenger for you to know that everything can have this level of connection. And there's all sorts of animals and spirits and energies that are excited to interact with your race. But I was very aware that I was even more weary of him when he was kind of coming up closer to me, even though again he was being very, very polite, very funny, and knowing that how much he could push me, but also being very polite at the same time. I'm assuming it was a male. And I did look into seal symbolism, and they are representatives of the dream, of honoring your imagination and your visions, and really knowing that when the seal comes to you, it's time to truly start knowing that there's something more to your dreams and your intuition, that they're not just your quote-unquote imagination, that it's very, very real in the magic of the nation. And also guides and bridge beings into the other world or into the unknown. And it was such a sweet encounter and so natural in a way, even though I was very much in fear of it. I went to the beach too with the intention, with the mind frame of like speaking with the ETs, speaking with the dolphin energy, talking to, you know, the hybrid family, like, hey you guys, like I'm in. Like I do things again and again and again for my communication with them to be like, I'm committing, let's dive, let's do this, let's play. And so making this video in this way and sharing a bit of my process of how I attune my vibration was very much a permission slip for me to also show these energies. I'm very committed, and let's dive back in. This is something right now that I've fallen out of the practice of, or that I know I've kind of been slacking on it because whatever, I've been interested in other things. But it's also been a little bit of a fear. Like it's kind of scary to get into the ocean and to like swim with these big, amazing animals that I'm just learning, these big, amazing energies and beings that I'm learning. And so it was very much like a moment for me of like, I'm in. Count me in, I'm diving in. And I just love the pun of like, way to seal the deal. We sealed the deal. And they sent her, Gaia sent, I sent, we all sent a really beautiful messenger that opens up also ideas of the unknown itself. The seal offers ideas for change and for shifting, for shape-shifting, connected to the Scottish and the Celtic Selkie myths. And there's a vast amount of symbolism with the seal. But it was really lovely to get some type of physical contact, and again, in a way that I was not expecting, and a way that reflected to me that they're still learning And the seal also has lessons of trusting, of knowing that when you see this animal, there's something that the universe or that you are telling you that you can trust. And I think the seal was specifically telling me that, hey, you can trust me, you can trust the seal, you trust the dolphin, like you can trust the seal too. There's such a extended family for us to interact with on this planet and beyond. Watching. I hope this was fun, informative, playful. I will continue to do videos on this subject to give you more stories, more practices, more tools to be able to connect with the cetacean and the other ocean wildlife energy regardless of where you may be located. But I have a lot of energy and a lot of story and a lot of information stored in my brain, and I'm sharing one step at a time. One action leads to a next action, and then the next excitement to the next action. But this is another theme that I will be exploring and sharing. I feel like I've got a lot of starts of themes right now, but thank you all for sticking with me and for your encouragement and for your support. Sincerely, thank you. Our minds may be different. Our bodies may be different, but it is through our hearts that we know our spirits are one. Aloha!